Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Black Snake here. In today's video, I am playing Gran Turismo 7 in VR. But what makes this video special is I now have a PS5 Pro. Now, everything that I've been told, my experience is now going to be way better than what it used to be on the base PS5. So I wanted to see for myself if that is going to change the experience at all. So I'm excited to jump in. For those of you that watch some of my older race videos, especially on iRacing, the reason you're not seeing me as much anymore is due to a knee injury. So I've had to cut back my racing dramatically. Now, I have been doing everything I can to strengthen my knee. I've been doing injections, exercises, a ton of different things, but there is a limit to how much I can race. But I'm going to get back in the swing of things, so please be patient with me. And I figured today would be a great day to start with Gran Turismo 7. Now, for those of you that are familiar with my racing videos, I really do enjoy starting at the back of the pack. It gives me an opportunity to practice my overtaking, and it was no different today here. I decided not to post a qualifying time, so I'll be starting in 13th place. But here we are off. And as I kind of look around the car, the first thing I notice is the game is not as blurry as it has been in the past. And honestly, I would say it's not really blurry at all here, but we managed to make the first corner alive, as we know that we're about to dive into the second corner, which is usually a very dangerous part of the track to hit. So the gentleman Buck jumps out in front of me. I'm just going to sit behind him, and I'm going to take this corner as slow as I can. I actually jumped into this without any practice at all, but this is one of my favorite tracks, so I've always felt confident here. I just got to get my braking zones right, so I'll probably start off braking earlier than what I need until I get a little bit more confident as the race goes along. But here we are, we have our first run on the Lamborghini here as I shoot down to the right hand side. He ghosts out, but I was kind of scared that he was going to run into me there, so I backed out of it. That is something that's a huge difference and something that I need to adjust to, jumping back into Gran Turismo 7, coming from iRacing. In iRacing, you will get punished if you make any type of mistake or contact, versus in Gran Turismo, they will ghost out and give you an opportunity to just go through them if they're considered driving reckless according to the game. But here we are, we're pushing again, trying to get past this Lamborghini. We make a little bit of contact. I couldn't quite remember what I was saying here, but I was probably frustrated with the contact. But here we are, going into this next turn. I slow down a lot. He overshoots it. So luckily I don't fight him into that turn, because he would have easily taken me out. And I managed to get the overtake going into the last turn before we cross the finish line to complete our first lap back on GT7. Now as we jump ahead a little bit into the second lap, we're going into the second turn again. And getting this braking zone right is going to be very important in terms of gaining time. As you can see, the car in front kind of overcooks it and loses a little bit of time to us, and he also has a penalty, so we have a nice little advantage against Chris as we go into the third turn here. So we're trying to run up on him. We're going to brake early again just because I'm not feeling confident about my braking zones. As you can hear me kind of rev up a little too high with the car. But here we are, paced right behind Chris. We're going to try to follow him in. We're not too worried about getting overtake here because we'll get him once we hit the penalty marker. But I'm just trying to figure out what my race lines are on this track again, just trying to get used to it. Trying to figure out where I gain time, where I lose time, just trying to relearn everything all at once. But here we are right on Chris's bumper as he's about to serve his penalty, which is going to give us a free overtake here. So he loses half a second in terms of not being able to accelerate, but he probably loses closer to 1 to 2 seconds because of that penalty. As we have a crash right there on the right, going into the last turn. And we are now in a fight for 8th place for our very first race, starting in 13th, starting towards the back of the pack. But as I look to my right, Chris actually has fought back and has a run on us into turn 1, and he's easily going to get the overtake. We tried to do a switch back into it, don't have the speed to make it happen. But as I sit here in VR, I'm just kind of admiring the cars in front of me, being able to get right up on their bumper, read their stickers, all those types of things. Like, I really do enjoy this about Gran Turismo. But here we are in 10th place, trying to get our 9th place position back from Chris. Now, going into this turn, I'm feeling a little bit more confident. So I think I'm going to try to go for an overtake on the outside here. That's my plan. But I got to brake later than I want to. And it doesn't quite work. I bump him a little bit, but the position's his. The car in front of me kind of scared me off a little bit because I thought I was going to run into the back of him. But luckily that didn't happen, and I just gave Chris a love tap. But Chris loses the car again going into this turn, and I'm able to take the position on the inside. But I love the wheel-to-wheel racing in VR. It's so addicting. And it's honestly why I choose to start in the back of the pack. Now, one thing you'll notice is my driver rating is a D. I have a safety rating of an S, but my driver rating is a D as I try to go for another move here on the last turn, but I can't get the speed to hold it. But again, my driver rating is a D simply because when I have friends over, family over, this is the game I let everybody play and try because VR can be so amazing. Oh my gosh, as we go 3 wide into this turn, but luckily Chris ghosted out because that probably would have wiped out all 3 of us. That was beyond a bold move. But racing in these D rank lobbies, I am faster than a lot of these guys. I probably could be ranked a lot higher if I spent the time and tried to do it, but I'm constantly starting from the back. I'm constantly fighting with guys that are still learning the game and things like that, so I get taken out a bunch. But we're gonna go ahead and push, and not to say I don't make any mistakes, but yeah, that's why I am still a D, because I haven't really put the time or the attention into it. But here we are, jumping into another turn. As you can see, my braking point is just way off, but I'm able to stay out in front of those guys. But we got to play a little bit of defense now. So here we are going into the last 2 turns. Again, somewhere I'm struggling a little bit. I serve a penalty that I had picked up. But here we are trying to stay on the outside, but we give up the first position. Going into the last turn, we're able to hold on to that. And now we're trying to fight for 8th again. So we actually have a really, really good battle going on between the 3 of us, with Chris behind me. Jumping into the very first turn again. I'm going to try to go for an overtake, but no, he closes the door on me. And Chris gets a run on me again on the outside, so it's a drag race all the way down to turn number 2. And he has a nose on me. So we're in the same car, the same Ferrari. So performance-wise, we're going to be the exact same, unlike the car in front. He's going to have a different performance than we are in terms of turn, straight line, speed, things like that. But there I go. I cooked it. My first huge mistake back on Gran Turismo 7. I end up overcooking the car, spinning it out, saved it from hitting the wall, but I done lost the battle. And mistakes will definitely kill you when it comes to racing. As I go ahead and make my second mistake for the day, throwing it in the sand trap, which is also going to cause me to lose another position on the final lap of the race. So I tried to fight back, but I think my tires are dirty at this point, so I'm having a hard time getting traction. Just mental mistakes, and those things are expected, especially as I try to get back into racing. But we're going to go ahead and finish out this race. And as you can see, I cannot hold back my frustration. Just mad at myself. Nobody took me out of that race. I took myself out. And to add salt to the wound, me driving off into the sand at the end there didn't help the matters at all. To summarize my experience racing on the PS5 Pro in VR on Gran Turismo, it is a drastic difference. Now, this is only one race, but I have spent many hours playing this game in VR to the point where I noticed the difference immediately. It's drastic, and I think it makes it a lot more comfortable for me to be able to race long term in VR. But Chris gave me a great battle message. I appreciate that. I think he sent me a friend request after that as well. But yeah, all in all, guys, I loved my experience. If you want to see me do more racing videos on Gran Turismo, let me know in the comments. But until next time, guys, I'm the Black Snake. Peace.